Hello, it's Tamsin here at Beginners Quilting Hub. Welcome back to another Quilt Tube video. So this week I thought I'm going to show you a few things that have come in the mail. I've got a little finish to show you, a couple of little bits and pieces, and then I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I've got this big set of 6 kind of extra wide drawers in my sewing room, and I haven't been in there for a little while. I know there's some kits, I know there's some patterns. I've got no idea what else is in there. So I thought maybe we could have a little sort through that together and decide what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of, and just have a general look what's in there. So I'm going to move myself to the floor in a moment once I've done a little bit of a show and tell, and then we'll get going on that. Now, as lots of you know, I'm incredibly close to my lovely Nan. I'm going to be going out to visit her today, and I get to take these out. Now, these were some knitted blankets that she made, and she asked me to put the backing on, and that's been done. And I did actually have some help from one of my lovely friends, Amy. Shout out to Amy. She helped me with the kind of final stitching of them onto the blanket, just because I was running so short of time. I'm going to give these a little press before we go, but here they are, and we've added some kind of coordinating backing to them. So these are to go to our local NICU wing of the Salisbury Hospital, and one of the requirements is that there is a soft cotton backing, which, you know, for any of the knitted blankets. So this is the first one. This one's done. I made the backing. I kind of just did like a double rollover hem, and then sewed that on my sewing machine. And then Amy, bless her, has spent her evening stitching them onto the blanket with nice mitered corners. So, and here's the purple one with a nice coordinating purple back. I am just going to give them a little press before we drop them off to the hospital, but I'm dying to take these over and show my Nan this morning that these are now finally finished, because she has been asking me where they are and why they're not finished. So they are now done. So I'm really proud that I can take those over and show Nan this morning. The next thing I've got to show you, so in my, I think it was my last video, and it might be in relation to the sew along, I showed you my really quite disgusting pressing mat. And lots of you actually messaged me to say that I could cover the mat. So I think that's a really good idea. So I am going to do that. But in the interest of time right now, I just needed an instant kind of fix. But also I am finding this pressing mat a little bit small. So I've ordered myself a bigger one. And it is a very large wool pressing mat. I hate this packaging that comes in. Let me just break it free. Oh, it's really heavy. So it's a very large mat. This is 18 inches across the shorter edge and then 24 across the longer edge. So it's actually the same size as my cutting mat. And this is going to fit really nicely next to my sewing machine. My little June Taylor mat is going to be retired for the near future, but it's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be obsolete. It will be used again in the future, but I want a nice fresh mat that's bigger, that I can put next to my sewing machine now that I've got this wider table. So for those of you worried about me, worried about my pressing mat, fear not. I now have the solution, and I'm really excited to try this out. I know I need to get something to go underneath, so I have actually got an old cutting mat, so I'm going to dig that out, put that underneath. This will go on the top, and then we can test this out later today. So I'm excited to try this one out. The next thing I've got to show you is a little, it's a kind of mini make. So I haven't finished this, but I'm intending to get this finished as soon as possible because I'm addicted. And it's something that, to be honest, I've wanted to make one of these for years and just never have. But it's one of the little folded, quilted Christmas decoration baubles. So if I hold that up, I made this with Liberty fabric, and I actually have some of this fabric that I'm going to be adding into my Christmas shop on my website. And I'm just wondering, would you like a little tutorial? Would you like a little video of me showing you how to make this? I was thinking about writing a little pattern just with kind of all the measurements and the orders of everything, and yeah, but let me know what you think. I know some of you have probably tried one of these because they're very popular, and you can do all different patterns, and I fully intend on making some different patterns. I've bought myself, I think about 6 of these kind of polystyrene balls to actually use, and of course the girls are interested in making them as well, so I'm probably going to lose a couple of them but I love them. So what fabric have I used? Well, I've picked 3 really sweet Liberty fabrics. So the center star is made with this fabric here. This is called Winter Pine, and it's part of the Woodland Christmas collection. So this is lots of little Christmas trees made up of flowers in those gorgeous colours. So that I've made my center star from. And then the next level, which is, oh, you need a good contrast in between your colours. So I've got this white in the middle, or white in the next stage. And this, I think this is called Enchanted Wood. It's also part of the same collection. It features little deers and Christmas trees and things. And then the final round, which is going to be kind of like the centre of the bauble, is this one. And this one is called Christmas Cottage, which is really sweet. So those are the 3 fabrics that I've used. Now these were fat quarters, and I've got all of this left. And I've also cut enough to do the other half of the bauble already. So I've got loads of fabric left. So I'm going to be able to do, quite a few with this. But I've got some little fabric bundles. So I've got a very limited quantity of these. I'm going to be putting them up in my shop over the next coming days. But if you're interested in grabbing yourself some beautiful exclusive Liberty fabrics, let me just give you a little flick of them. I think this one's beautiful. So this one's featuring little baubles of its own, but in pinks, blues, purples, and obviously the pine leaves. Then you've got the fabric that I've used, but this is like a shimmery metallic silver. And then we've got the cottage print that I already showed you, and then the other 2 prints. So this is made up of 5 different fabrics, and you get a fat quarter, and it's a generous fat quarter of each fabric. So I will let you know on my socials when this is going to go into my shop, but I've got a very limited amount of those bundles. So then from the same fabric range, so a Woodland Christmas, I've then got these gorgeous reds and blues. So this is a kind of like bluey green pack, and this is much more of a red tone pack, and it's got these gorgeous Stars and Jewels fabric. And then it's got, and this, I think this is my favourite one. So if I can loosen this up a bit. It features little nutcrackers and just little kind of Christmas themed emblems, little boats, little cars, little rainbows, all in the Christmas theme. And then we've got this really cute little florally, Christmassy fabric here. Then we've got some beautiful stars. And then we've got that enchanted forest in the reds. If you're interested in grabbing yourself a little Christmas Liberty bundle, keep an eye on my shop, because they'll be going in there in the coming days. And if you want to make one of these, this is the perfect fabric for that. Right, that being said, I'm going to move to the floor, and we're going to have a little dig in this cupboard and see what on earth is inside. Get myself a little blanket. Let's get comfy on the floor. Now, I'm going to have a sort through these. I'm not going to pull everything out. I'm just going to kind of have a little look through and pull out. Oh gosh, should we start with this drawer? Okay, I need to go on my knees. Right, let's clear a little bit of space, and then we can start to have a look, can't we? Okay. Oh, I remember these. I bought these to hang up on my wall. Never got around to it. Ah, so this is a pack of Jen Kingwell foundation papers for Pineapple Log Cabin. I actually bought one of her books. I must show you that in a future Quilt Tube. But basically it features some foundation paper piecing, and when I realised it was Pineapple Log Cabins, I thought this would be just perfect. So I've got a whole book there. I think there's like 25 odd pages. Oh, there's a couple of patterns. This is my English EPP pincushion. A to-do list book. Oh, and another notebook. I think that's going to be a theme. Oh, a little coin purse. This is one that was given to me from Missouri. Also found a little floss drop What on earth did that come from? It says Tabby Cat Embroidery from Wonderful. This might have been some sort of promo thing I was sent. I have no idea. No clue. No clue. Mini Manx block. Look, this is when I was testing out doing little mini Manx quilt blocks. What else have I got in here? Oh, I forgot this was in here. So this is little scraps, and by scraps I mean little pieces of Tula Pink, Liberty and Tilda fabrics. Big old goodie bag, and I wanted to do some kind of crumb quilting with this. It's so bright and colourful, and they were just too beautiful to throw away. I think there's actually some Laurie Holtz in here. I think there might be a few Lewis and Irene. What else have we got? There's some Tana Lawn in here. Yeah, all the good stuff. So that is a definite keep, and actually we probably need to add another bag to the cupboard. There's lots of kind of Manx quilting things in here. What else have I got in here? Ooh, some block designs. So this was one. Have I made this one? Not quite. This was one that I was mocking up in some. What fabrics were these? See, this is the problem, isn't it? When things get put in cupboards. So I've mocked this up, ready to sew. This is my Tied with a Ribbon quilt block. I need to get this sewn, don't I? But won't that make a gorgeous like cushion? Right. And then randomly, just some random squares cut. I have no idea what these were for. Oh, goodness. Let's see if I've got a pattern here. No. Yeah, so this is my Tied with a Ribbon quilt pattern. Let's show you a little bit of the picture. So this is the pattern that I wrote. I'll put a link to this in the description because it's a really, really popular block pattern. Right, let's put these back in. I don't think we're going to get much sorted today, and let's just have a look through and see what on earth is in here. Yeah. If anyone wants to come and organise these drawers for me, please do. Right, so basically that drawer can be titled, let's just close it. Second drawer. Ah, this one's far more organised. So this is kind of interfacing, some heat and bond. This is the iron-on adhesive, and then 2 big boxes of freezer paper. At one point, I was really into freezer paper. Oh, drop that one out. Freezer paper applique. Until I realised that actually there's easier ways of doing it. So they've kind of got put in here, and you know, we might need them one day. Ooh, right. So I said there was going to be some kits in here, and here is the first one. This is Home Sweet Home Primrose Cottage by Lindsay Waite, and it's a gorgeous cross-stitch cushion. So you could either do this design here or this design here. And what I thought I might do is actually just do the front cushion because I absolutely love it, but it's so sweet. And I've actually got the 16 count Ada to sew this with, so this needs to be started really. I don't think it's a huge pattern to get done, and I got this at the I bought this at the Festival of Quilts, so this is a this year pattern. What's in here? Oh, I've forgotten I had this. So this is Liberty squares that I'm going to make into some charm packs for you guys, because you love your Liberty charm packs. I just haven't got around to making them yet. There's another little Liberty kind of pencil case bag. There's a few flyers and things in here. Another packet of heat and bond. Right, so that drawer is fairly organised. Can we call that fairly organised? I think we can compared to the top one. Ooh, this one's a bit more interesting. So this one's a very interesting one. So I've got in here my embroidery stitch pack and pearl cottons from Missouri that came in my last kind of influencer pack. I need to do something with that. I've got a pack of wadding. Now this is 100% cotton. I've kept this separate because I use this in my bowl cozy kits, and there will be some more of those coming. Oh, let me just readjust. Some more of those kits coming out now that I've got some nice fresh fabric that I know what I'm going to use. There's a couple of Missouri Star kits in here. These came with my Christmas Advent, and I think at some point I'm going to try and get the girls to make this because it's actually 4 little cute little key rings. Right, so I just had to stop the video because my phone started to overheat. It's never happened before, so I'm really hoping that it's okay now. Just given it a good like half an hour break, went and had a cup of tea, and now I'm back under my rag quilt, and I thought we could finish off the drawers, but I'm really hoping this doesn't mean my phone is on its way out. Has it happened to you before? Let me know, because my life is on that phone. Right, oh, I've forgotten about these. These are going to be good for Easter. So these were some acrylic templates that Missouri Star sent me, all themed around Easter. And I need to make something with these. They are cute. Here's another one that came with, let me just take it out of the wrapper. So this is another kit that came with the Advent. So it's called Snowflake Embroidery Kit with Frame. And I think the thing that I most like about this kit is the frame. I've never seen anything like it. So this is a Missouri Star exclusive product, but it's this gorgeous wooden frame, and you can just pop your hoop inside. So when you've finished doing your embroidery, it just pops underneath those pieces. These are pieces of elastic. Just pops underneath those and then sits really nicely and displays your work. So I don't only have to use the one that they've sent me, I can actually use any of my little cross stitches as long as they're that same shape and size. And I've made a start on this, but I didn't get very far. I mean, really not very far at all. So I've just put in one little snowflake and a couple of beads. So that's a cute little project. I don't know if I'll ever finish this. I don't know. I should do really, shouldn't I? Right, I'm going to put them back in the bag so I can keep it all together. I like how, oh gosh, my thread's got a bit tangled. I like keeping little kind of projects like this to hand, because if I'm having a moment and I just, you know, I want to be doing something but don't know what to do, this kind of thing is ideal because you can just pick it up and do it for 5-10 minutes. Ooh, I forgot about these. So the Beginner's Quilting Hub was originally called the Orchid Craft Room. That was my logo there. And I used to make felt sewing kits. So this is some of my felt sewing kits. So this one was to make a little cloud with little stars. And these little kits were to make little owls. And these were the last few that I ever made. What have we got here? Little foxes. Oh. And little pincushions. Oh, I'd forgotten about these. I keep these as a kind of like little memory. So that's kind of how this all started. Right, let's put these back in. That's a sweet drawer, I think, that one. Oh, in you go. We may skip over some of this. So in here, I've got a couple of books. Inspiration books. I love books. I love magazines. I love patterns. Even if I'm never going to make the thing, I get inspiration. Oh, I get inspiration from them all. Oh, look, another to-do list. It's just loads of paperwork in this one. What's here? Ooh, this is all about my sewing machine. So this is a little folder I put together with all the different things, the amazing things that my new Benina does. Oh, I think I've shown this on my channel before. My lovely Nan used to love doing embroidery, and this is something that she gave me and to finish. The problem is I can't find the same thread, and it feels like it needs to all be in the same thread. So I'm on the lookout. I might actually take this into a cross stitch shop. That might be quite a good idea actually, and see if they can do a bit of a colour match, because I'm never going to figure it out on my own, am I, what colour it's going to be. But this is kept safely in my drawer so that I know where it is and I will finish it. What else have I got in here? There's a few notebooks and things. Ooh, some English paper piecing, a cross stitch kit which is just never going to get finished. Oh, I forgot that was in here. So I've got a Heart and Home pattern. This is the Perfect Heart by the Quilt Company. And this is just an individual block. This was a block of the month. I think this may well be, so this is from 2008. And actually I may well have bought it in 2008. Thinking it's a house, it's pink. You know I love houses and you know I love pink. That needs to come out of there and go into my patterns. And what else have I got in here? Ooh, instructions for a tote bag that I made one day, one far off day. What's this? Some templates from Kath Kitson. This is a bit of a dumping drawer, I think. I think some of this needs to come out of here. I'm going to move that up and put that in with these more precious straw. Right, let's bung those in there. Why not? I can't fit everything back in now that I've taken it out. Okay, well those will just have to stay out. Ooh, this draw's exciting. Right, when I went to New York, I picked up this cross-stitch kit. It's a printed canvas with some of the most famous and iconic New York buildings on it, including the Statue of Liberty and the Chrysler Building and of course the Empire State. Okay, there's lots of colouring in here and kind of drawing pads and things too. That's if the children come in. Fancy Forest by Elizabeth Hartman. Have any of you made any Elizabeth Hartman patterns? I would say they're definitely not for beginners. They use incredibly tiny pieces. Let me just give you a little, if I just hold it like that, you can get an idea of, you know, this is just one animal, or one part of one part of one part of one part of an animal. But I really like this pattern, and I actually made a whole stack of foxes years and years ago and turned them into little cushions. I can't even remember who I gave them to. Right, now I know that in this drawer and the drawer below, we're going to see lots of Lynette Anderson kits. This one is on my need to finish list for 2026 because it literally just needs the applique bird in the centre and then turning into a cushion. So this is the pattern here. And it has some 3D buttons on it, which I've also started to make. So I could really just get that finished. That is going into my 2026 I'm going to finish list. The second one, and I know I've definitely shown you this one because we've talked about this one before. This is called One Stitch at a Time. Again, a Lynette Anderson design. So it's a pre-printed panel, and then you add the applique on it as well. Let me show you the panel. Show you the pattern. So here's the pattern. It's called One Stitch at a Time. Now, Lynette Anderson, if you haven't heard of her, is an incredible designer. She's one of my favourites. She's based in Australia. She usually has a picture of herself in the pattern. Let's have a look. Here she is. So a lovely, lovely, lovely lady from Australia. And I've got a little story. So a couple of years ago, before I started Beginner's Quilting Hub, my husband actually booked me onto a workshop with Lynette Anderson. It was one of the very, very, very rare times that she was actually coming to the UK, and she was going to do a workshop. I don't even know what the workshop was on. I didn't care. I just wanted to go. And he surprised me and booked me tickets and booked me a place to stay and everything like that. And then COVID hit, so we didn't have it. And she's never come back to the UK since. So I never got to do my workshop with her. So I'm really sad about that. And if she ever does come back to the UK, which I don't think she's going to, I would love to do a workshop with her. I think it would just be so much fun. Anyway, let's get back to the job in hand. This is some EPP stuff. Do you remember the Alice Caroline sampler quilt that I'm doing? So this is just some printouts of the paper piecing parts and some of the beautiful Tana Lawn fabrics to do the English paper piecing blocks. I think I've actually done all of these now, so I probably just need to work out whether I need these for any of the other blocks, and then put this fabric back in. So maybe I'll leave these out and we can figure out what to do with them. Right, that's that drawer. That's actually quite an empty drawer, so we can put some of this overfill in here, can't we? Books and patterns and whatnot. My kids love these colouring books. They're really like You know, the ones that are almost like doodle pages. But they've got so many tiny pieces. I can't see them most of the time. Right, final drawer. Let's have a look what we've got in here. So this is a kit drawer. I know this one is a kit drawer, and it's got lots of Lynette Anderson. Sometimes her things can be quite hard to find. So when I see them, I do like to almost collect them. I have this vision for myself that when I'm kind of in my 70s and 80s, I will have wound all the business down. I won't be working, and I will just spend my days sewing. And by that point, I'll probably have no money left because I'll have spent it all on supplies and goodness knows what else. So these are my kind of, this is my retirement fun. So I've collected the ones that I know I want to make, and I think I've got 2 plus 2 patterns. I'm going to show those to you. Plus, is that the only ones? Plus the 2 cushions. So those are all the ones that I really wanted to make. So the first kit I'm going to show you is called Hollyberry House, and I love this. This is a quilt kit. Let me hold that one up for you. So all of her stuff uses a little bit of embroidery. She loves little tiny crosses and little tiny like pieces. She hand draws all the images, so everything in here is hand drawn. So the little Santa, the little reindeer, they're all her little designs, and even her patterns are handwritten and hand drawn. And she loves to mix in kind of like really simple patchwork to frame everything, and then the detail is in the kind of applique, and they are beautiful. So I've got that one, and this is the one that I'm really excited for. This is called the Forest Floor Table Runner, and oh, that's more hexagons. So this has come with the thread, the fabric, and again, this is embroidery and English paper piecing, this one. I think Lynette was the person that kind of got me hooked on hexagons, because I just love the way that you can put them on anything just to give them a little bit of extra shape. So the other 2 patterns I've got is On the Farm, and I've actually started this one, and I've just put it all in a box and thought I don't have time to do it right now, but I want to come back and finish it. And then we've got Chateau Hexagon, which I think was one of the first ones that I got, and this is a pattern. So this is for a 26-inch by 37-inch quilt, so it's this kind of mini quilt. But I remember seeing this hung up on a stall, a display. I think it may have been at Malvern or Festival of Quilts, and this is beautiful. You see how she hand draws everything to kind of show you where to put everything and what everything should look like. She tells you everything you need on the back, so you get all the threads that she's used, the colours, the stitches that she uses, everything that you need. Obviously, if you buy a kit, I don't think the kits are put together by her. They're put together by shops here in the UK for the ones that I've bought. So she sells the pattern to them, and then they kit it up with fabric. So the fabric isn't always exactly the same as like the original, but it's a near kind of colour match, or you know, just as beautiful. So this is what I call my kind of like retirement sewing. So when I get to the point and I'm like, I have nothing to do, no business, no children kind of floating around, they're off doing their own thing, I will get stuck into these. So I'm not worried about them just kind of sitting in my drawer. I've got 2 things here which I have started and I've shown you before, but I think they're over in my other bag. This was Cuddly's Christmas Bears by Brenda Walker of Country Folk. And this was something that I bought at the Festival of Quilts, and I showed you to make these little kind of like ornaments. And then the second pack called Festive Friends. So this came with all the bits and pieces that you need with that. And I started some of these as well. I think I showed them to you, but they're not in here. But this is kind of, this kind of stuff is like, sit in front of a film over Christmas week when you kind of don't really know what to do, because it's that weird week in between kind of Christmas and New Year, and sit and make a few. I was never going to make them before Christmas, so oh, this is another little kit. So this is a Hexie cell phone clutch. This came in my Missouri Star Advent to make this really cute little clutch to put your phone in. And I got the little charm pack to make this, and it comes with the purse frame, that's the one. So it comes with this little purse frame with a little click to open, and some interfacing. So that's a little kit in itself. Oh, and then quite weirdly, there's a little box of the world's silliest family jokes, which I think is probably Matilda's. Oh, I did why they're in there. Anyway, we won't worry about that. Ah, that goes with that. Ah, and that's the hexagons that go with it. I wonder what that went with. So there's a little pack of, I wonder what size these are. 1-inch hexagons for paper piecing to go with the clutch. So that in itself is like a little kit. I need to find a little pack to put that in, don't I? Otherwise that's going to end up getting separated. Is there a little bag? No. So that brings me to the end of my little cupboard. I'm going to leave these out because I want to sort these out. That brings me to the end of my little sort out. I'm going to put the things back together and put my room back together and head over and see my nan now. I hope you've enjoyed this little snoop into my drawers. Okay, we started off with the thought, this isn't even shutting now. We started off with the thought that we might sort this out, but actually looking through here, I think it's fine for another. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this drawer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had fun having a little snoop in my little 6-drawer unit over here. I'm going to go and try and figure out why that 3rd drawer won't close, and I'm going to go and take the blankets over to see my nan now and see what she thinks, get her approval hopefully, and then I will be back here doing some sewing for the Winterberry Lane sew along quilt. I hope you're all really well. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.